Good day, everybody. We are at the 16th of May, 2025. We're going to do our three-part show as always. First, we're going to start with Santa Clarita real estate, that update. We're going to get into the fat loss and fitness portion and how fasting actually helps, believe it or not. And then, of course, starvation. Then finally, artificial intelligence. Let's get started. As of today, this morning, about 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, in Santa Clarita Valley, we have 733 total active listings on the market for sale. Of those, we have 22 listings that are coming soon. This is a time frame in which sellers are able to have their listing propagated online, but not within the regular channels. If you want to see coming soon listings, you have to have those actually emailed to you directly from a realtor, a member of the local board of real estate agents, and then they'll be able to set you up and send that to you. If you don't have anybody like that, I have no problem sending those to you, no obligation, no further information from you required, but I do need name, email, address, so I can send those, and also what cities you're interested in. Just go to santaclaritacomingsoon.com. Fill out the form and I'll get those out to you. Let's talk about something that doesn't get talked about a lot. You buyers out there that are looking to purchase real estate, a big tip I can give you is make sure that your lender is worthwhile of your business. And the reason why I say that, some of the online lenders and the lenders that are just basically focused in the world besides local, but they're just basically members of these massive companies, a lot of them don't have those connections to their clients. So whenever a listing agent is following up with your particular agent or your lender in order to try to talk to the seller more intelligently about what you bring to the table, a lot of times that conversation with that falls short, because sometimes I'll call up and I'll say, hey, listen, this is Connor McIver. I have a listing in Valencia on Anywhere Street, and you did have some clients through their agent that made an offer, but they put you down as the lender. What can you tell me about Gladys and Johnny Franawahal? And they'll say, Gladys and Johnny. And the problem, if they did pre-approve them, and I understand maybe they're pre-approving 100,000 people a day, which I know is not possible, tongue-in-cheek, but they should know them because they've spent some intimate time with them, gathering information, learning about them, talking about their employment history, talking about, how much money they make, how much money they spend, getting social security numbers, having them sign documents, a lot of stuff. So that lender should really have you as the buyer on the tip of their tongue to be able to tell me as the listing agent, hey, listen, this is what is with these folks. This is what they're approved for. I know you already see it on the letter. These are FICO scores, employment history. This is where they're coming from, so on and so forth. So there's a lot of information that an agent will need that's really supportive for the seller, but also helps the real estate buyer. The only way to get this information, however, is to make sure that you are working with a lender that's able to give it up and actually do that. The best case in point for you, the best circumstance would to you to actually hire a real estate lender who makes it a practice to make a phone call to the listing agent when the offer is submitted. Is that crazy? It does happen. You're not going to see this, though, with a lot of the credit unions out there because they just have the online applications. You might talk to a real person momentarily, but there is no after-hours contact. It's all business Monday through Friday, holidays and weekends off. You want a lender that's a little bit more nimble, one that's able to give you their access, whether they're on work, off work, weekends, holidays, sitting by the pool with the family. It's good to have somebody connected, and that is not unusual, just like hiring a real estate agent wanting to see properties in an evening on a weekend shouldn't be unusual either. They should be available for you whenever your schedule allows and whenever they can get the property scheduled. Sometimes the listings don't last that long, so you don't have that luxury of waiting, the next couple weeks. Well, my agent's busy. We'll have to get you out there sometime next week. No, you call, you want to see a house. As far as I'm concerned, you need to see it right away. That's a word about lenders. On the seller end of it, having an agent that's going to do that due diligence is also very important. Let's say the buyer isn't working with a lender that has the due diligence or the intestinal fortitude or the scope of reasoning to be able to make that phone call. Because, making an offer, small thing. We're talking hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. We're talking a big loan. We're talking a lot of moving parts. We're talking somebody to get to the point of somebody wanting to make an offer. They really want to move forward with it. It's not just getting a couple items over the telephone and swinging one out there, hitting for the trees. This is a serious deal, and it needs to be taken serious by all parties, and especially the agent representing the sellers. So that agent should be also doing their proper follow-up with everybody involved in the process. So when they do come back to their sellers and say, okay, we got 3 offers here, let me explain to you the nuances of each. And then of course they've already had them emailed to them. So let's talk about offer number 1. Let's talk about these particular buyers I did reach out to, and then they give it to them from there. That's hugely important, and that's very good for both sellers and buyers, and it will help you throughout that real estate process. Listen, it's important you hire the right people. Don't think because somebody's willing to take you on as a client, they're doing something special for you. You're the boss, and you structure your business and your housing transaction that way. Okay, so next thing we're talking about, let's talk about fat loss. You know, that's a big thing, and I hear a lot the addictive cycle with food. Yes, if you've been eating for a long time, haven't been able to get away, haven't been able to stop, and you have a lot of stored body fat on your system, it's probably an addiction. You probably have an addiction to the ultra-processed food out there. I don't know what your poison is. I don't know what your favorite thing is. Maybe it's drive-through tacos at Jack in the Box. Maybe it's Big Macs or double pounders with cheese at McDonald's and French fries. Maybe it's shakes, milkshakes. Maybe it's cupcakes. You're into donuts. Maybe it's these sorts of things. Whatever it may be, maybe it's soda. Soda's remarkable. Even diet variety, again, something to look into. But whatever the habits are, if it's not just plain water and you're drinking it all the time, i.e. coffee, i.e. artificial sweeteners, all these things, it might be time to take a break. That's where fasting really does pay off, because it shows you do have the ability to go without things for a certain amount of time. You're taking medicines, you're seeing a doctor, you have medical problems, yeah. Probably best idea, best suggestion, and in fact, in all circumstances, make sure you get your lender's blessing before not eating or skipping even one meal. However, I skipped a meal for 14 days. I didn't have anything to eat for that period of time. That was the longest I've done. I know people have done longer. But once you breach 3 or 4 days, you've done something that is so incredibly rare. You've also reset a lot of your body systems. You've also improved your health. You've also probably dropped a lot of weight. And as far as what amount of that weight is fat, probably 3 or 4 pounds from a 3 or 4 day fast. Look into that research. Look into what happens with your metabolism. It actually increases when you quit eating, but if you try to do a caloric restriction type eating plan or diet, your metabolism very quickly reduces in the amount of calories it burns just sitting around. That's a problem, because then after you get done playing your caloric reduction way of life and eating plan and go back to eating what normal might be for you, you're going to end up putting weight. Even if normal is what the recommended amount of calories for your age, your body type, your size, your workout level, all these things. Let's say that's right. Your metabolism's already too low anyway because of the caloric restricted nature of the diet that you undertook. Look at that, do your studying. When it comes to fasting, your metabolism actually increases. Now, is it difficult to not eat? Sure. It does take willpower, it does take effort, and it does take something that maybe you don't have. But if you've been fat for a long time, I think you can find it. And you'll realize how fast it actually improves everything, inflammation markers, different biologies in your body, and it will equate to you actually feeling better in the long run. Do your research. It does work. It did help me immensely. See what you think. Check it out. You can see more information about this at my YouTube channel, At Home Muscle. You'll be able to see some of the things that I put together there. Now, finally, let's talk about artificial intelligence. It's in everything, and a lot of people are talking about the dystopia or the future that could create a lot of issues for people, especially on an employment basis. So when you are out there and you're considering whether you should be or shouldn't be interacting with AI, my suggestion is you should be. You need to see what it's about. You need to work with it and see how it might be best adapted for your life. If you work in a particular profession, maybe you can see how that might amplify it. It's not going away unless you go the route of the Amish, maybe separating yourself from all technology. I believe if you're in a particular type of job and you have somebody else in that same type of job, the person that's in that type of job utilizing artificial intelligence in their business, even if you're just a number cruncher and button pusher, that's still honorable. The person that's the button pusher that's using AI is definitely going to have a better review than the other employee that is not. It really is that time for you to start looking at it. You don't have to go all in. You don't have to spend the money, but at least learn what types of systems are out there. What are the Grok, and that's through the X Corporation, Elon Musk. You have OpenAI, that's through Sam Altman. You have the Facebook one, Meta. You have that AI as well. You have you go through Microsoft, that's the Bill Gates one. So there's different ones to use. Then you have Claude, then you have Llama, then you have Alibaba. You have different types. You have DeepSeek from China. There's a lot to look at, learn. They all kind of work the same way. Some are going to be better at certain things than others. You have Google Gemini, which Google was the one that came up with a transformer model in the beginning that allowed for a lot of this AI technology to really come to the forefront. In addition, a lot of people are seeing these other models that Google associated coming out, and what they believe is they're really doing a great job not allowing Google to jump in. You wait. Google isn't anywhere close to being done. In fact, Google has some fantastic AI incorporated assets, just beautifully done. Notebook LM is one of those. It's free, something you can use. What is it? Well, let's say you're trying to learn something. Let's say you're trying to figure something out. You found the YouTube video and you watch the YouTube video, and maybe it does a good job explaining what you're trying to learn. Take that URL from the YouTube video. Take that share, you click on the share button. Copy that link that you would share with a family member, friend. Plug that into Notebook LM and just go to Google, search Notebook LM, NOTEBOOK LM. You'll see it there. When you open up the page, if you're logged into Google, no problem. If you have a Gmail, I know a lot of people do. If you don't, just get yourself a Gmail account. It's okay. It's free. It's not going to hurt you. And go ahead and then open up Notebook LM, and then take that YouTube video and go ahead and paste it in Notebook LM, and you'll see it there. There'll be different ways to upload stuff. You can copy and paste text, you can type to it, you can upload documents, PDFs, whatever, so it'll see it. But one of the options is a YouTube video. So you click there and you add that YouTube URL and just let it crunch it. Then you're going to want to generate a show, and believe it or not, you'll have two people, male and female, both AI, talking about what you just uploaded. And it's another way of learning. You'll be able to create a source document, a timeline. You'll be able to create basically something that helps you learn it, a fact sheet as well. Also a quiz module that will help you understand more about what you're learning. You can read through it. It'll ask you a series of questions and then give you the answers to those questions related to the video you punched in. Now is not the time for those of us, even if you're on a settled retirement and you're just very happy, you're just traveling the world and you don't have a care, know where the world's going to be in the next couple of years. If you have a for sure 100% vested retirement, I don't know if that can go away. I don't have anything like that. I retired from the police department, but it was honorably without the pension. So I don't know what that would look like, but I do know now's not the time to start to wonder, about going out to pasture. Working with the police department, I'm going to throw this out to you, it's a little heavy. Working with the police department, the people that retired, it would always seem, the ones that didn't have a plan, they had an exit strategy, that was retiring from the police department. Now, the rest of it, they didn't have the answer to, they didn't have it planned out, they had no goals, they had no other things to do. They didn't last very long. 2-3 years, they were dead. Don't be dead. If you can hold on another 5-6 years, more than likely your lifespan is going to be increased another 50. And then during that other 50, they're probably going to come up with changes where you could probably live as long as you want in a very healthy state. If you want that, just wait for it. If you don't want it, I know I talk to people, oh my God, I couldn't go anywhere to check out now. Yeah, I don't know what that's like, not in that world, and I thank God I'm wired the way that I constantly want to be learning, refining, and trying to figure things out. Because folks, the world's an exciting place. I know everybody that's probably lived to this point, even the caveman banging on rocks with other rocks, probably were saying, God, what a great time to live. I mean, we got the pond, the over here, and we everything we wanted. We got that berry tree and the banana bush, whatever it is. I don't know. I think now's a pretty exciting time to live. If you can agree, leave me a comment below. Learn, figure these things out. Watch Google carefully. I believe they're going to just blow everybody away. They already have with their Gemini product. They have so many different things. Dug into it. There's great videos out there on how to use Google, how to see all the AI infrastructure they put together, all of their platforms. I'm in my mid-50s, folks. I'm going to be 56 this weekend. It's important that you don't let up. The less you work, you're more likely you're going to cause it to rust. So make sure you don't let your brain rust, folks. Keep it neuroplastic. Work with it. Learn things. Teach yourself to write with your left hand if you're right-handed, and vice versa. If you're using a mouse, use the mouse with the other hand. I've been playing with left-handed mousing for a long time now versus right-handed. You know what? It sucked at the beginning. It was very frustrating and difficult, but I got it. So now I'm ambidextrous when it comes to the mouse, but I can only do that with the guns. I've taught firearms with the LAPD, so that's why I say that. I'm not out there to hurt anybody. All right, let me know what you think. This is Connor with Honor. We will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.